In this video, I compare shooting TTL flash against manual flash in my small home studio. Hello, I'm Gavin Hoey and you're watching Adorama TV, brought to you by Adorama, the camera store that's got everything for us photographers. Now when it comes to shooting flash, either in my small home studio or on location, I always run the same theory. It's manual mode in the camera and manual flash. But over the recent years, TTL flash has been getting better and better, so maybe it's time I reconsidered that. So in this video, I'm going to compare TTL flash with my trusted manual flash. So let's get a light set, let's get a model in, let's get shooting. So to help me out today, I've got the amazing Jazz. Jazz is going to be the model for this, and as you can see, she's got this whole retro sci-fi look going on. Why? Well, because it's much more fun to do that than just straightforward headshots. Now what I'm going to do is set up 3 different lighting scenarios, and I'm going to use TTL, and then I'm going to repeat the entire thing using manual mode. And I'll look at the differences and see how they compare. So let's get going, and the first setup is going to be a really simple setup. I'm going to shoot in TTL first. Let's see how long it takes to get a good, correctly exposed picture. Jazz, are you ready? Okay, here we go. Yeah, first picture, straight out of camera. Absolutely bang on exposure. This is easy. Great. Away we go. Let's take a few pictures. Lean back against the wall for me. Just put a shoulder against the wall. That's it. Yep. It's brilliant. Absolutely great stuff. Okay, let's move the light around a little bit. Let's pop that there. A bit more dramatic lighting coming in from the side. With this simple lighting setup, the end results are actually really good. It's very fast to set up, moving the lights around isn't a problem, and although there is a slight difference in the exposure shot to shot, honestly, I could live with this. So for the second look, I'm going to make it a little bit more challenging. This time I've got a shiny silver background as well as Jazz's shiny silver dress. That might throw the TTL out. And I'm also going to throw in a background light halfway through. This should be a bit more of a challenge. To be honest, I wasn't expecting TTL to do well here, but actually it's doing much better than I thought. Right, so let's just pop a light in behind you, and this should give it a nice little bit of flare. Okay, sideways on, so let's bring it around to the side. Right, okay, pointing it down at me. Yeah, this is proving a bit more tricky. I'm not totally happy with the exposures here, but that is something I could easily adjust with a bit of flash exposure compensation. So the last setup is going to be the most challenging. It is a sort of hero lighting, very dramatic edge lighting effect. Now I want to shoot at f2.8, which means I need to go beyond my flash sync speed limit, high speed sync flash. This is going to really stretch TTL. Let's see how it goes. Okay, so yeah, I can see this is really overexposing. Fortunately with TTL, of course, I can adjust my exposure compensation really simply. Yeah, there we go, we're off. Angle these lights just a tiny weeny bit towards the background, just to pick up a little bit of that grey background, just a hint. Of course, that's now slightly ruined my TTL, so I need to reset somewhere in the middle. Right, Jazz, we're off. Here we go. Okay, great. Loving this look. Oh, suddenly gone way too bright. That's weird. Why did that happen? I don't know. Let's adjust it. We'll keep going. Yeah, this is proving a lot more challenging. Oh, that's too bright. And it went steadily downhill from there. Sometimes the exposure would be okay, then it would be too dark, and then it would be too bright. There was no rhyme or reason to it, and I called it a day there. Okay, so now we're going to do that all over again, but this time I'm going to switch the mode of my trigger from TTL to manual. Now, okay, so first things first, I need to take a meter reading just to see what the exposure is. I'm going to aim for f4. That's f2.5. Wow, that made a difference. f3.6, 4.5, 4. Bingo, there we are. Okay, and off we go. Compared to TTL, this does feel painfully slow to set up. Right, let's make this a bit more dramatic. Let's take the light, put it round to the side. Okay, meter towards the light. And yeah, if you want to, yeah, that's probably about right. Actually, stay there, that's good. F4.5. F4, there we are, good. Okay, a little bit of action. Bring the gun round to me quickly and bang, there you go. Okay, the setup wasn't quick, but at least I've got the same exposure shot after shot after shot. And we'll start by taking a flash meter reading and see what we get. We're aiming for F4 still, so we might as well get it absolutely bang on. F4, there we are. No problem. Right, away we go. With manual exposure, I not only get full control of the light, but also consistency. And these look perfectly well exposed shot after shot. So we'll turn that background light on. So let's put it into manual mode. And let's start middle of its power range, about 1/8 power. And we'll see how that goes. Okay, and looking at me. Look into the light. Point your gun at the light. Take that light out. Bang. I do love a bit of flare in my pictures, and having that backlight on manual just gives me that extra level of control. Now I want to shoot at f2.8, which means I need to go beyond my flash sync speed limit, high speed sync flash. I can't use my flash meter, so my first few shots are going to be working out the exposure. Here we go. That's better. Getting there. Just take me a couple of shots just to nail the exposure. Okay, we're off. Bit of expression. Give me a kind of a, I need a, yeah, that's it. Great. That's terrific. Love these. Superb. Okay, and just finish off with it above your head again. Bring it up there. Well, that was a great fun shoot, and along the way I've learnt a few things. Starting with the basic flash, where TTL absolutely blew me away. It was so quick to set up. I could move the lights around and keep shooting. I loved it. Looking at the pictures, they were definitely more consistent in manual flash, and that really showed itself when I switched to the shiny background. TTL gave a slight underexposure, easy to correct with a bit of flash exposure compensation, but put in the backlight and manual worked better for me. Then there was the two lights, the more dramatic lighting, which was a clear win for manual flash, owing to the fact that me, on this day, in this studio and these lights, TTL was a complete failure. So the question is, which should you use? Well, it depends. Both are really good in certain circumstances. For me, the consistency of manual in my studio means manual flash is the way I'm likely to stay. But if you're running and gunning on location, TTL can be brilliant. And looking ahead, TTL combined with TCM flash functionality means that you can get in the right ballpark with TTL and then fine-tune with manual. But that's the subject for another video. Now, if you've enjoyed this video, don't forget to leave me a comment below, and of course click on the bell icon to get regular notifications of all the new videos right here on Adorama TV, and of course click on that subscribe button. I'm Gavin Hoey, thanks for watching.